Hello, everybody. Amanda Davis here, and I'm here to make a difference by teaching you what I know and sharing with you what I know. And I wanted to do a quick video to accompany a blog post that I'm going to be doing hopefully tonight on fall fun activities that you can do with your family, or if you are like myself and you're a younger childhood teacher. So I'm talking anything elementary, really all the way up to probably fifth grade would be interested in some of this stuff. Um, so your younger kids up to fifth grade, and even as young as two, can do some of these things. So I'm going to start talking again about fun things that there are basically based around pumpkins, apples, leaves, and acorns in this video. And so I'm going to start with acorns. Acorns are a lot of fun. Kids enjoy being able to crack them open and look inside and see what's going on with that, as well as you can talk to them about how an acorn is actually a seed that will grow into a tree. And that's why the tree puts out the acorns. Of course, it's also a food source for squirrels and other animals that like to eat nuts. Mostly squirrels, though, is what I'm thinking of with that. But you can kind of do a lot with that as far as just acorns and what an acorn really is about. And then leaves, following up from acorns, leaves, you can do a lot with leaves as well. You can do leaf rubbings, where you put the leaf under the paper and color over it. You can also do something called a leaf print, where you paint the leaf and then put it down on paper and leave a print behind. If you don't use paint, you might also be able to use ink, is what I hear for that, where you put it on like a stamp pad and ink it. But I know paint works for that. And that actually, with the leaf print and the leaf rubbings, you can see where the veins are in the leaf, and you can kind of point out to kids how that's the vein of the leaf and what it's for. And obviously you want to have how in depth you are with it be age appropriate, but you can still, kids like to make pictures with it and the prints and that kind of thing. I know that I did the leaf rubbings with 2-year-olds and they appreciated it. I also did leaf prints with kindergarten and they liked it. And then you can, with your older students, so definitely kindergarten and up, or 4 and up, really, you can try to talk a little bit about the differences between the leaves. So like, this is a maple leaf, this is an oak leaf, this is a whatever leaf. You can also go into a little bit more detail on why the leaves change colors in the fall, and how trees, that change colors. They start off with the green leaves in the spring, and then, the spring it buds, and then it's the green leaves throughout the summer, and then in the fall they change color, and then in the winter they fall off the tree. So you can go into that kind of discussion for your 4-year-olds and up. And then apples, if you are lucky enough to live near an apple orchard, you can go to some kind of orchard and do apple picking. Even if you can't do that, you can get a hold of some apples and talk about differences between apples. You can cut the apples open and let them see the inside and identify the different parts of the apples. You can paint with apples, where you cut it in half and then you paint the inside part that you would eat and turn it over and leave little apple prints behind. So that's another fun activity too. And I did the painting with apples with 2-year-olds. You wouldn't necessarily go into all of the details on the parts of the apple with the 2-year-old, although you could show them the seeds in the middle. And then you can also talk about the differences in the colors, because they know their colors. And then with pumpkins, again, hopefully if you're lucky enough to live near a pumpkin patch, you can go to the pumpkin patch and pick out a pumpkin. You can talk about the life cycle of the pumpkin with your older students, especially your kindergarten and up. And the life cycle of the pumpkin being that it starts off as a seed, and then it's a vine, and then it's a green pumpkin. Actually, it's a yellow flower, and then a green pumpkin, and then an orange pumpkin, and then you pick it, of course. And then the seeds on the inside. I did a fun sensory activity that I actually did it with 2-year-olds, and then I did it with the 5-year-olds for my 4 and 5-year-olds for my kindergarten this year. And that was where you cut into the pumpkin and let them do sensory and just kind of dig around in the pumpkin guts and the seeds. Yeah, it's a little bit messy, but that's why you just put it in an area where it won't matter if they make a mess. Let them go at it. Do that sensory activity. Talk a little bit about how what we like to call the pumpkin guts are used to make pumpkin pie and whatever different pumpkin things. how the seeds can be roasted or also planted to make pumpkins, how the pumpkins kind of grow, and especially if you're going to be carving a pumpkin anyway for Halloween, why not let them have a sensory activity with it and a little bit of education lesson in addition to the carving it. And then also one other thing is corn mazes and the mazes. You can have them do that too, and also just kind of talk in general about things that can be harvested in the fall. So you might harvest corn in the fall, or squash, or tomatoes might still be coming off the vine. You might have, well, obviously we take apples off the tree in the fall. So you can kind of talk a little bit too about the things that you're going to harvest in the fall. And hopefully you found this video helpful. I'm going to also go ahead and upload a copy of this one to my YouTube channel. And you can check out my blog post. It's at Amanda's Alcove, which is a blogspot address. And I don't have it backwards, but I will be putting the link in the description to this video. So I'll just put the link in the description to this video to the blog post so that you can just click on the link there. But I do appreciate everybody for watching. If you found this helpful, do share it out, as well as feel free to comment with your own tips for the fall and fun activities to do with kids. You know, the fall, well, any season, but the fall especially, is a great time to do these things with pumpkins and apples and harvest and leaves and acorns and all that kind of stuff, because that's when they're around and easily accessible. And something else that you could do too is pine cones. Taking pine cones off of the ground and letting them look at those seeds and talk about pine trees, and talk about, you could do things with pine needles. Especially as we go into the winter season, that's more of the time for pine cones and pine needles, but you could start it now with the fall. And you could also talk about, in addition to pumpkins, you could talk about gourds and some of those kind of things too. And you can even, I know something that we did with the kindergarten class was we opened up a gourd and we opened up a pumpkin, and we looked at the difference on the inside. And we also had an orange pumpkin and a white pumpkin, so we actually opened up the white pumpkin too, and they got to look at the difference between the orange pumpkin and the white pumpkin. And so that's another option as well. Thank you again for watching. Look for that link in the description to this video. Feel free to comment any comments below, and I will do my best to respond as soon as I see them. And thank you for subscribing to my page, because chances are, if you're watching this, you are liking my page. And also, if you're not, feel free to like the page, but also feel free to subscribe to the live notifications so that you can come on when I'm live and ask whatever questions live and get the answer then and there. Thank you again for watching, and I will see everybody later. Bye, guys.